Hello my dear students. Now we are in globalization topic. In our previous session we also done about globalization and MNC's role also we have done. In this session we will see about technology, taxes, and trade benefits or fair trade. Technology. In our previous session also we have discussed that due to technology, globalization day by day increasing. Example, you take Amazon, Flipkart, Shopclose, internet based selling sites or food delivery apps like Food Panda, Amazon or any other apps. These are due to technology, their business has been increased. Whenever their business increasing, so due to that they are expanding their business to other worlds also. Once upon a time, these were only set up in megacities. Then after normal cities. Even now in towns, in small towns also, these are providing their services. Employment opportunities also, some of the people they are getting due to this technology. Next, tax. Government usually impose tax on the goods, isn't it? Government usually impose tax. Impose tax. What government will be benefit? What government will benefit? Let us take example again. Chinese toys. If our Indian government impose taxes on the Chinese goods, if our Indian government impose taxes on the Chinese toys, they may reduce their products. They may not sell in India. They may sell to other countries because it may be lost to them. Because they pay more taxes, there will be no profit. Hence, they may stop their toys. Whenever they stop their toys, it will be very benefit to the Indian producers, Indian toy makers. That means tax on import is an example of trade barrier. Tax is trade barrier. Tax is trade barrier. If I wanted to set up business in other country, if they are asking more taxes, so do I get more benefits? No. If no taxes, yes, I can go and I can operate any business. So tax is barrier on trade. Tax is trade barrier. Very, very important. In the globalization, tax is trade barrier. No taxes, we can get full profit. But government can use this trade barrier to decrease the foreign investment. I repeat, government can use trade barrier as to increase or decrease foreign investment or foreign goods. Example, government remove taxes on the Chinese goods, more Chinese goods will be come to India. If the government impose taxes on the Chinese goods, they stop their goods to not enter into India. So that government sometimes manipulation, sometimes they increase, sometimes they decrease. If they pay to the government also will get income. But the goods rate also they will be increased. The prices of the goods also will be increased. Okay? But nowadays you understand that whatever the requirements, from there only the governments were accepting certain goods. Somewhere there is relaxations were there, somewhere the government were not accepting certain goods. Next, initially government after independence not accepted the foreign goods. I repeat, government before independence, they did not accept any foreign goods. The government after independence had put barriers on foreign trade. Because governments after independence, they restricted us to do not send our products to other countries. At the same time, they also restricted other products to India. So these restrictions were made because they wanted to protect the local producers. Why this was happened? Because they wanted to protect the local producers. Local producer. Because if Japan American products were accepted in India, all members will buy American products. Still now, two products are there. One product was made in Japan, one electronic product. One product was made in India. So most probably majority of the people they purchase made in Japan. Wow, made in Japan is a good quality. They may go. For that, they wanted to protect from the foreign competition. The government wanted to protect from the foreign competition, so that they wanted to protect the local producers' interest. They wanted to save these local producers. Hence, government not allowed the foreign trade or foreign companies into India. Okay. Example: 1950s. In 1950s and 1960s. 1950s and 1960s, they did not allow most of the majority of the product except essentials. Essentials like machineries which we require, that only machines and chemical fertilizers and petroleum products. Except these three: machines, fertilizers, petroleum products. Except these three, government was not accepted. Government was not accepted any product. Okay. Next, but when the government changed his position, government revised his policy towards the trade. Just now I said to you, after independence, government not accepted. But P.V. Narasimha Rao government, P.V. Narasimha Rao, P.V. Narasimha Rao, yeah, P.V. Narasimha Rao government around 1991, around 1995, 1991. Congress government identified that Indian producers have to be competed with the producers around the world. I repeat, P.V. Narasimha Rao around 1991, this P.V. Congress government identified that Indian producers have to be competed with the producers around the world, because our products, Indian products, were in the international market, where these Indian goods are not quality, not good, waste. So that name was very bad name is there on the Indian products. So that government relaxed. Government allowed the other country products to India. At the same time, government also allowed to export our product to other countries, because that they wanted to improve the producers. Government wanted to improve the performance of the producers. Government wanted to improve the products. Improve the products. Our products need to give good competition, stiff competition to the other products. Okay. So it also supported. Whenever our government took the decision that we are accepting our country, all countries can sell their goods in India, and our goods also we can sell in international market. Then many international companies, many international organizations welcomed this decision. Many international organizations accepted, they supported the decision which was took by P.V. Narasimha Rao. Why they took? Because they understand that tax is a barrier on business. Tax is a barrier. Okay? So if the tax is removed, this barrier is removed, exports, imports can be do easily. Imports do easily. So they wanted to do exports, imports easily, so that many international companies also welcomed the decision taken by P.V. Narasimha Rao during 1991. At the same time, P.V. Narasimha Rao government also, they wanted to improve the quality of the Indian products to compete the world products. Okay, so that this government was adopted liberalization policy. Let us see what is liberalization. Very, very important for 2 marks and 1 mark. Liberalization. Yeah, simple. What is liberalization? Globalization, liberalization, both are very, very important definitions. Liberalization, removing barriers. Okay, removing barriers on trade, or removing restrictions on trade, removing restrictions or removing barriers which was set up by the government. It is called as liberalization. I repeat, removing barriers or restrictions set up by the government, removing barriers or restrictions restriction set up by government. This is called liberalization. I repeat, liberalization. Removing barriers or restrictions set up by the government is called as liberalization. So government what government doing? Government is removing the barriers. That means not freely accepting. Less restrictions were imposed. That means less restrictions imposed. Less restrictions imposed. Not entirely free, but little bit relaxation have been given. Little bit relaxation imposed. Little bit less relaxation have been given. So that is, we can say that less restrictions were imposed while comparatively before restrictions. Okay. Next. Some of the members, they argued that economic force is only responsible for the globalization. Economic forces means corporate companies, manufacturers, those who are manufacturers are there. They wanted to earn huge profits, hence they forced the government to accept the product in their country. But some of the members, they say that government decisions, government can allow the companies, other producers in the country. So it is a debatable thing or debatable concept. Sometimes certain countries which are having capitalistic, that may bend towards the producers. Certain countries which are socialistic countries, that may not bend towards to the producers. So there are certain positives, certain negatives also there. Somewhere the economic forces are responsible for the globalization. Somewhere government also responsible for the globalization. Example, if the government did not remove the restrictions, do the globalization would happen in India? Not possible. But economic forces are forcing us to accept. At the same time, government also accepting. So sometimes there will be dual benefits are there among the producers and also government. Because if the government allow them, they will pay to the government. They will pay tax to the government. If government impose more taxes, if they could able to pay more and more taxes, government will be benefited. So there are dual benefits are there. Okay. Next, let us see certain international organizations. International organization. What are international organizations? International of Global Governance or International Institution of Global Governance or Global Governance Institutes. Global Governance Institute. There are a lot of global governance institutes are there nowadays. Example, on climate change. On climate change, IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. IPCC, it is one kind of organization. Okay, and there are so many global governance organizations were there. Like climate change, IPCC. One more new global governance organization set up. So this organization is WTO. That means World Trade Organization. World Trade Organization. Yeah, it is located in Geneva. World Trade Organization. What is the why World Trade Organization was set up? We know that Climate Change Organization, IPCC, main aim is to reduce the global temperature by 2 degrees Celsius, isn't it? It is WTO. World Trade Organization aim is to liberalize international trade. Aim to liberalize international trade. Their main aim is on trade. They want trade. This was set up by developed nations. This was proposed by developed nations. Developed nations like Britain, France, US, USSR. These all they developed this ideology, World Trade Organization. Now, according to the textbook, nearly 150 countries are membered in WTO, but actually 164 countries are there. Updated 164 countries are there in the WTO, because this WTO will establish the rules related to international trade. What this WTO will do? Make rules. Make rules on international trade. They will make rules on international trade between the countries, how the trade need to be carried, between the nations, between the continents, what are the do's and what are the don'ts, so that these WTO will make certain rules and regulations, and this will be forced. Sometimes WTO also forced to follow its policies. Sometimes WTO also force the country to follow certain its rules. They may also force India to accept, for example, any foreign company that we Walmart or any shopping malls, foreign shopping malls will come. Small shopkeepers may lose in India, isn't it? It is we have done in case study number 1 in our 9th class lesson. So sometimes the WTO also force to follow its policies by the countries, and these developed countries also force. Developed countries also force to accept rules. Developed countries, they force developing countries to accept, because developed countries they wanted to sell their product in developing nations. These developed nations, they wanted to sell their product in the developing nations, so that they force politically, they force, okay, economically they force lot of things. They force many things, and that may sometimes the government also face lot of troubles due to this WTO. Okay, next time, due to these liberalization policies, due to these globalization policies, how it will be benefited to us. Yeah, let us see the advantages. Yeah, it is whom it was advantages. Due to the liberalization, due to the globalization, it will be advantages to the well-off sections. Well-off section people. Yeah, well-off section people means rich people. Rich people, they may choose anything they want, because there are 20 to 25 choices are there due to many foreign companies. Before that, in India only 1 or 2 products are there, but now 20 to 25 products are there. They can choose from 22 to 25. Okay, so well-off section people, those who are very rich people, they can very easily choose the product. Well-off section people, they can choose as per their grade, choice and quality. Choice, whatever choice we want, whatever quality we want, because day by day, quality will be improved. Next up, employment opportunities will be increases. Employment opportunities, living standard. Okay, living standard will be increased. Living standard will be increased. These are the advantages. And what are the disadvantages? The disadvantages were mostly people may small capitalists or small producers, they may not survive due to the stiff competition. Example, they are given Ravi's example. Ravi, in our textbook they given about Ravi example. Ravi was set up in 1992, one capacitor business. Capacitors means all electronic gadgets like televisions and other electronic equipments, they required the capacitors. When he took loan from the bank and he was set up this industry, but when the government was accepted the liberation policies, globalization policies, soon after many television companies which they before purchased from Ravi, now they are purchasing from multi-branded other brand companies, because we want brand nowadays. Brand. What is this brand? Because we believe in brands. Okay, well-known brand. So that slowly, once upon a time, his business was 20 workers were there to work in Ravi's business, but now only 7 members were there. Slowly, the companies, those who purchase capacitor from the Ravi, they are able to purchase it from other designers, from other companies, which are multinational companies. So slowly, he was a small producer. he was a small producer, small capitalist, he may not survive due to the globalization. So that government they wanted to protect the interest of the local producers. Government also they wanted to protect the small producers. Okay, Indian companies. Okay, certain Indian companies also will be benefits. Another advantage is Indian companies. Yeah, Indian companies will benefit. How Indian companies will be benefit? Small companies will be collapsed. But certain companies which can be competed with the worldwide products. Certain companies which can be competed with the world products. If they increase the quality, our Indian company also increase the quality. They reduce the price. These members also reduce the price. You might have you see that there is a competition between the Spencer and the DMart. Okay, Spencer or Reliance Fresh or More Market or Heritage Market. There obviously they'll give 1 or 2 rupees differences between there. So wherever less price will be there, we will go. So ultimately, customer will be benefited due to this globalization and liberalization. I repeat, customers will be benefited due to the globalization and liberalization. Yeah, Indian companies. How Indian companies will be benefited? You know, whenever there is a stiff competition coming from coming from other countries company, Indian new companies also adopt new technologies because that USA based company is producing good quality of the product. Why can't we produce good quality of product same as this? So that Indian technology also will be updated. Okay. Example, you know, certain companies still stiff competition. That is, you know, Tata company, Infosys company, Ranbaxy company, Asian Paints company. Okay, these are worldwide very famous companies because they faced very stiff competition to the world other products. They survived because they updated the technology. Their products were updated. Lot of the things they have done. Okay, so this is how our Indian companies also will be benefited. Yeah. Let us see once again. We'll go back to the example. London magazine. It is designed in India, isn't it? It is also given in one paragraph in our textbook. The magazine which could be printed in London, that will be designed in India. London magazine designed in India. Further here, call centers will be there, data entry operator will be there, accounting will be there, administration will be there, and engineers, the related engineering persons will be there, and internet banking also there. For example, I am working for the London magazine. How should I get the money? From internet banking, the money will be credited on me. So that due to the globalization, exchanging of the data collection, exchanging of the accounting, exchanging of the administration, exchanging of the engineering products also will be happen due to this globalization and liberalization. Next, SEZ, SEZ means Special Economic Zone. Special Economic Zone. Nowadays, state government and central government, both are you know they are implementing special economic zone because they wanted to attract the foreign companies to India. Example that we said IKEA company we provided the basic facilities like land, water, electricity we were provided. Not only that, but also tax exemption was given. Tax exemption for initial 5 years. 5 years that IKEA company won't pay taxes to us because that is under our special economic zone we have created, that you need not to pay any taxes initially for 5 years. But after 5 years, they have to pay taxes to the government, then government will be benefited. So under the special economic zone, Indian central government and state government, both governments are attracting business and also they are providing their basic facilities to the companies which they wanted to set up their business in our country or in our state, and moreover they are also giving tax exemptions to them. So these are about special economic zone. Yeah. Next. Who will be really benefited? That also we were discussed. But see, we also said that not everyone benefited. Not everyone benefited due to this globalization. Who are not benefited? Example, Ravi was not benefited. I said Ravi was not benefited. Yeah, why Ravi was not benefited? Because of the stiff competition due to the all other societies, all other organizations, all other countries, so that he is unable to compete with that. So there is now, like Ravi, there are so many companies are there, so many persons are there, those who are unable to compete and shut down their factories. Nowadays, a new word arising, that the question is fair globalization. Fair globalization. Fair globalization. Is this really there is a fair globalization? Is there? Globalization would, globalization would create opportunity for all. What is fair globalization? Create opportunities for all. Create opportunities for all. At the same time, benefit share among all. So that is called fair globalization. What is fair globalization? Fair globalization is create opportunities for all and also share the benefits to all equally. Share the benefits to all, because government have to play very crucial role to controlling of the other societies. Government need to be controlled, or else if government will not control the organization, government will not control the companies they can make the laws whatever they want. Companies they can do whatever they like. So that the government interference is needed into the globalization, because they wanted to protect the policies of the rich as well as poor. Government have to protect the interest of poor as well as rich, or rich as well as poor. Rich as well as poor. Yeah. So government have to protect the interest of rich as well as poor. Not only rich but also poor. So that is called as fair globalization. And moreover, government have to be implement labor laws very strictly. Labor laws. Government have to be implement labor laws in a proper way, and also government have to be support small producers. Support small producers. So I repeat about what is fair globalization. We discussed that not everyone benefited due to globalization. Who are not benefited due to globalization? People like Ravi. Entrepreneurs like Ravi were not benefited. Is it? His business was shut down. But what is the meaning of fair globalization? Fair globalization means it need to be create opportunities to all. It need to create opportunities to all at the same time. The benefits also shared equally among all. The benefits also shared among the people equally. Next. So what the government should do? Government have to be protect the rich as well as poor. Next, government have to be implement the labor laws, because our Indians may work in international company in India, so the laws will be different. Their own country labor laws are different. In our India, labor laws are different. Whenever they are setting up their industry in India, their company in our India, they have to follow the Indian labor laws. So that India need to be check the laws, whatever the laws they are maintaining. At the same time, India also support the small producers. There is a conflict. Again, there is a certain conflict. Sometimes they say that we are completely, just I said that borderless world. The nation states are merging together. Somebody says that the cultural dimension culturally changed something, and the world was deviating due to the globalization. Certain positives, certain negatives also there, because due to globalization, lot of members they are getting employment opportunities. Due to globalization, we are sharing our ideas. We are also adapting the new ideas. We are also updating ourselves. The products also updating. The whatever the products we used in the before 10 years before is different. Now is different. Now is different. Our culture also a little bit. The shape of our culture also a little bit deviating. Also, somebody they may accept. Somebody says that it is modernization. They said. So there are some positives, some negatives also there due to the globalization. So children, this is our topic. Yes, I want you to revise in the second session what we have done still so far. Just now I said to you that technology have improved. Okay, due to that, lot of changes have took place in the globalization and liberalization. Impose of tax. Tax is a barrier. Tax is a barrier because if you wanted to impose taxes, nobody will accept. No company will come. If you tell, hey, we do not have tax, you come to India, then many company will come. Initial days we do not charge, but after 5 years we may charge taxes on them. So tax on import is a trade barrier. Tax and import is a trade barrier. Government of India not accepted imports export after independence. But 1991 PV Narasimha Rao government, they wanted to make the Indian producers need to be competed with the producers of the world, so that they removed the restrictions. What they did? They removed the restrictions. Restrictions on where? They removed the restrictions on the trade. That is says that removing restrictions or barriers set up by the government is called as liberalization. They are removing means not completely removing. No, less restrictions imposed. I repeat, less instructions less instructions imposed. Later, WTO played a very crucial role. There are 150 countries are there as per the textbook, but now 164 countries are there. Developing nations were forced to follow the rules and regulations made by the WTO. I repeat, developed nations are forcing their ideas on the developing nations. Example, there was a conflict on the agricultural products. Still there is a certain conflict going on between the developing nations and developing nations, because developed nations forcing them to accept the rules and regulations made by the WTO. What is WTO? The aim of the WTO is to liberalize the international trade, because they wanted to move the goods freely in the world. The last and final one more topic we have, that is IBRD. Let us see what is IBRD. IBRD means International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and IDA, International Development Authority. International Development Authority. This IDA and IBRD both are called as World Bank. I said this is called as World Bank. Yeah, World Bank. This World Bank, there are 170 countries are there in the World Bank. 170 countries are there in the World Bank. Still 170 countries are there, but 16% vote majority goes to US. That means US can be manipulated. US can be forced the countries which can to follow. After US, Germany, UK, France, they are also having more votes, because highest majority is US. So whatever the US are having veto power, whatever US wanted to tell, that all the countries will be obeyed. Like China and India, these countries are having very least percentage of vote. Hence, these they do not manipulate or do not tell whatever they refuse to the World Bank or IBRD. So this is IBRD and IDA, also called as World Bank. 170 countries are there. Most probably this World Bank influenced by US, because US has 16% of the vote. One more important thing is World Bank president always American. World Bank president always American president. He was nominated by the Federal Minister of Federal Bank. I repeat, World Bank president always US citizen. He will be nominated by the Finance Secretary or Federal Bank Secretary of the US. So children, this is our lesson. One of the important aspects of this lesson is what is liberalization, next what is such, what are the advantages, disadvantages of the globalization, what is fair globalization. So from this aspect, the question may ask an examination point of view. Thank you.